Since I started playing the guitar, I wanted to improvise freely. Just play powerful lead lines and rhythm just off the top of my head. And as I started playing worship guitar in church, I wanted to do that just as much. I was excited to try to be able to do that. But in the heat of the moment, during a song or a part, when I had the chance to maybe improvise, I was afraid of messing up, being too loud. There's so many different things that go through your mind, but we just need to have some confidence in what we play. The biggest thing for me that got me to start playing more freely is just knowing just some simple basic theory. If we just take the key of E, for example, that elementary scale, within the key of E, that major scale dictates the notes of every chord within it, within that key. There's some stability there and confidence we can have just by that little bit of knowledge. Let's look at the notes of the scale on one string. Back to the octave. And there's a chord associated with every one of those notes. E, F sharp minor, 2 chord, 3 chord, G sharp minor, because it's the third note in the scale. I didn't know this stuff for years, but this is gold right here. A is the 4th note, the 4 chord. 5 chord is the B major. C sharp minor is the 6th note, the 6th chord. C sharp minor. There's a D sharp diminished we don't use real often, but it's just be aware of that. And then back to the octave, E. Another way to look at this is the notes of this basic scale. When you're in the key of E, all of the chords are built from those notes, so you literally have structure there within that scale to improvise. You have moments in songs, and we're just picking the key of E for some examples, but this is really the structure I look at and many players look at, so you know what notes to play. We might play the E major pentatonic, which is it's a 5-note scale stripped down. That's the E major pentatonic. The E major scales is right within it though. And the other thing, moving forward, there's common chords that we use within the key of E or any key. It's usually the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 5 chord, and the 6 minor make up 80 to even maybe 90% of the songs that we do in church, or even just popular blues rock music. Those chords are always used in different order sometimes. But if we practice, and this is important, practice the connections within those few chords in the key of E, we have a shape right there, an E, based off of this full chord here, barring in the D, G, and B strings on the 9th fret. We have an A chord, just moving up the D shape right up here. 9, 10, 9, and then you move up 2 more frets and it's a B. The 1, 4, 5 is definitely the most common, but that C sharp minor, the sixth, the relative minor, and you can just bar the ninth fret of the G, B, and E strings this time. So I can just take that information. I have the major scale, the major pentatonic, a few chord shapes, all within this area. That is powerful, very, very powerful. Another thing you want to be able to do is have control over the strings. Right hand muting, left hand muting is so important. You have another E chord up here. Knowing the chords within a key is gold. It's just you get songs thrown at you. Sometimes you know them, sometimes you've never even heard of them. And if you know the chords within the key of that song, you're gonna easily be able to come up with some simple rhythm and lead lines, but also for parts for more ambient stuff that you might want to do in between when there's a prayer or somebody's talking in between. You can do something nice and spontaneous within that. It doesn't always have to be the piano or keyboard player, but you have that. And the more areas of the fretboard that you have this knowledge, in the key of E, chord shape right there, B, A. You can have the open B string with that. It's nice sound. E major 7. Instead of, you just take that down to the D sharp note and play it with the full chord shape. But also walking up, like I did there with the D, G, and B strings, E, F sharp minor, G sharp minor, A, B, C sharp minor. For me, it was a game changer to learn just some basic guitar theory. Like I briefly showed you here, Just knowing how the major scale works with that and the minor scale if it's in a minor key, this will give you confidence just to freely play up and down the fretboard. Just and filling in parts. Don't doubt yourself. Just practice in this way. The common chords in a key, the 1, 4, 5, and 6 chords, learn how those connect. That is basically it for me. If I'm struggling to put a part together, I need to get back to basics. Do the simple things well, and this stuff will just happen for you. I hope the lesson was helpful, and remember, God is good.